In fact, like you should start preparing for the NCLEX the moment you conceive in your brain that you want to become a nurse abroad, in the US to be precise. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Success Umaesiri. What I'm going to be talking about is how to become a nurse in the United States. That's one of the most asked questions I have because the process is one of the longest for, I think, any country you want to migrate to, if I'm not mistaken, but it's really long, even if not one of the longest. Different strokes for different folks. It could get confusing because you're getting licensed for each state and it's not for the whole country, just like Nigeria or the UK. So depends on the state you're going to. There's just so many confusion behind it, and for me, when I was trying to do my process, it was actually confusing because I registered in a state that I've never had one person register. I searched blogs online, I went on YouTube. Like the last person that talked about it in a blog, like a written blog on Google, not even YouTube or anything, was in 2013. Because I'm not even done right now. I just took the NCLEX and I passed it. I'm grateful to God for that, but I still have one more step to do before I get my license. I'll talk about all those in this video. Alrighty, so let's do this. Let me just start by introducing myself, right? Okay, so my name is Success. I'm from Nigeria. I currently reside in Phoenix, Arizona in the United States. I am a registered nurse from Nigeria and I'm trying to become a registered nurse here in the US. So unlike many people, I was here first before starting the process. I came with my parents. I'm a permanent resident, so I'm here. So I live in Arizona. Of course, I thought I had to, apply for Arizona State Board of Nursing. But the first step you need to do if you want to get a US RN license is to identify the state you want. So I'm going to be talking about all these things and also mentioning the mistake I made. So you're supposed to select the state you want. Check if you have like 5 states in mind, 4 states in mind. Check their process on their website. If it's something that will be easy for you, go ahead. If not, then don't do it. It's not worth it. So I'll also be saying what I recommend, sharing my mistakes, and just explaining the step-by-step process to you. For the states, I would recommend Texas or New Mexico. I don't care if you're here just like me before you start the process, or you're trying to come in from another country, whatever. Texas, New Mexico, New York are one of the most popular states for international nurses migration because for Texas, they do not require social security number to give you your license. For New Mexico, their process is very fast. For New York, you spend less because they do your evaluation by themselves, I mean. So you're just sending your documents to them. You're not going to be working with two-body. I'll explain that when you get to understand what I mean by two-body when I continue the video. So the first step is identifying your state. So if you want to start taking down notes, you can do that. I've started already. So identify the state. I registered with Arizona Board of Nursing because I thought I was here. Disclaimer. Is it disclaimer I'll say or note? You do not have to be in a state to register for the state. So for people like me who came into the country and thought because I was here, I had to register here. No. See, even if I was living in Kentucky, whatever, I can register for Arizona State. So I didn't have to be in Arizona to register for Arizona. I could have registered for a more easier state. I'll talk about that as well. So one, identify your state. I recommend New York, Texas, or New Mexico. New Mexico is my number one on the list if I'm to recommend for anybody because it is actually pretty fast. Number 2, register with CGFNS. Now, there are about 4 bodies that helps nurses evaluate their credentials because you have to evaluate your credentials from wherever country you're coming from before the State Board of Nursing would give you a chance to sit for the NCLEX or even answer you with your application or anything. And there are about 4 bodies, like I said, that do that for people. 1, CGFNS, 2, ARES, and 2 other ones. The most popular ones are the CGFNS and ARES. Now, CGFNS is what I would advise anybody to use, even though I used ARES. Now I'll explain. CGFNS is more popular, right? And almost every state in Nigeria takes them. In the US, not in Nigeria. So, but for ARES, not every state. My state took ARES, that's why I used them. Another difference is CGFNS may be faster, right? ARES is 3 months, but they have options of fast tracking, which is very cheap. I think $65 for 10 days, and then you have also the 12 days. While for CGFNS, their fast track, is actually more expensive, and I heard it's really long. Although I know of someone that's like a very rare case. He got to CGFNS in like 3 weeks. He was shocked. Like, I've never heard anybody that fast. But CGFNS are usually slow. But what God cannot do does not exist. So yeah, that's why the process is actually lengthy, because these things take time. Now, why I would advise CGFNS if you're not in America is, towards the end of the process, you have to apply for something called Visa Screen Certificate. That's what the job you got, the company is going to use to file for work-based green card for you, occupation green card. Now, only CGFNS, out of these 4 bodies that evaluate nurses' credentials, offer Visa Screen Certificate. Now, when you're doing your first initial verification, you're not going to do it, like, you're not going to do the visa screen at the same time, because you don't have a job yet, you don't need it, you're not applying for green card. But you get what I mean. It's going to be useful at the end of the day, because CGFNS have all your documents. You don't need to send it again. But if you work with a body like ARES, after they do your evaluation for you, when you get to the end, you still need to send your document again to CGFNS to do visa screen. So if you're going to use CGFNS at the end of the day, why not just use it from the beginning? That's my ideology for CGFNS if you're not in America. I'm in America already. I don't need green card. I already had green card. I already have green card even before starting the process. So I did not need visa screen. That's why I used ARES. And it took me exactly 3 months, right? The 91st day, I think that's when I saw my report. They sent me 1 copy, and then they sent the copy to the State Board of Nursing. Now, expatiating more on the CGFNS report, this video might be really long, because I'm going to go into each process to explain more, because I also looked for a video like this I did not find during my time. Now, for ARES, if you're going to use ARES, once you go on their website, you're just allowed to print out 3 forms. 1 to be sent to your school, your nursing school, 1 to be sent to nursing council of your country, and the 3rd paper to be filled by you. Now, each of these documents are to be mailed to ARES. None of them is to be emailed. You're going to mail everything. Now, the one that is your copy, you're going to add your certificate, your school certificate, your, I think, notification of license, and your testimonial. So you fill out that form and add these 3 documents, put in an envelope, DHL it to ARES in California. You're going to send it to them. The one you send to your school, you're going to fill half of the form, and the remaining half your school is going to fill it out and attach your course description and transcript. Now, my school only attached transcript. I had to pay another money. They had to resend it again. So make sure they are aware that they have to send your transcript and course description alongside that paper you gave them in the same envelope, and also mail to ARES. Abuja, for Nigerians, nursing council, or whatever country you're coming from, your country nursing council has to also fill the other part of that form and attach. I don't think they have to attach anything. They'll just write your license number and all the nitty-gritty of the form and send it straight to ARES. Now, I was communicating with ARES via mail. They were very swift in answering their mails. Easy process, right? They updated me after every report got to them. If they needed any extra thing, they updated me. They were really good. I enjoyed their service. So on the form I filled, the last portion, I know some questions were going on in your mind, how do we pay? The last portion of the form has where you're going to put in your card number and the amount that you're going to pay. If you're just paying for regular, if you're paying for fast track, if you're paying for, they also have a change, like if you didn't study in a country that speaks English, they also offer like transcribing your transcript to English. So you write the amount of the service you want and your card number, like life and direct, on the paper. Once the document gets to them and they open a portal for you, they are going to charge that account. That's how ARES work. I believe I've explained ARES. Now, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section. I'm going to be responding to all questions. Now, for CGFNS, you're going to open a portal online, and then you're going to pay the amount of money needed to open that portal. So you're going to pay that amount of money, and then open the portal. Once the portal opens, that's where you see the 3 forms as well. 1 for yourself, you fill it online there, and then you attach your WAEC scratch card and WAEC results on the portal. And then 2 other forms you print out, you fill half of it, send it to nursing council, send it to your school with the same request. Your school requesting your school to send the transcript and the course description, and then your nursing council of your country to also fill the remaining part of the form and send to them. Step 2, done. Yeah. Now step 3, you have to once you're sure that, so how I would advise anyone to do this, because I would say register for your board of nursing now, but most of them they're not open for up to a year. So if you don't finish this process in less than a year and take your NCLEX, you're going to repay application fee and reopen your account again. So the best time to apply to your board of nursing is after your CGFNS, your ARS, or any evaluation body you're using have acknowledged that they've received all your documents, yours, the one sent to your school, and the one sent to your nursing council. Once they've told you they have received it and the evaluation process has started, average of 3 months generally. Once they just tell you it have started, apply to your state board of nursing. So after applying to your state board of nursing, you pay the fee as well, which is about 200, 100, 150 depending on the state. And then after that, you fill out everything you need to fill out on that portal. Then for Texas, for most portal, you're going to see like a list of checkboxes you have to be checking out when you do each process. The process majorly is usually the one common to almost all boards: fingerprint, background check, which is like almost the same thing. Let me just say fingerprint, NCLEX, credentials evaluation. Those are the 3 boxes that is common to all states. For Arizona, my boxes I had to check off was NCLEX, fingerprinting, permanent residence proof. That's like Arizona don't even allow anyone to come from outside. You can't even do it from anywhere you are. You have to be here, because I had to have a social security number to even start. Permanent resident proof, proof of English, credentials evaluation. Those are the 5 things I had to tick off for my state. That's just my state. For Texas, you're going to tick off fingerprint, NCLEX, nursing jurisprudence exam. That's another exam apart from NCLEX. So that nursing jurisprudence exam, don't be scared. It's not hard. I've heard from people that have written it. It's not hard. I almost wrote it because I also applied for Texas. It's not hard at all. So all you need to do is just to read the handout that's going to be given to you on the website. It's more like current affairs, and you sit for the exam in your house, right? Log on your computer, sit for the exam, and you're good to go. So that is about the nursing jurisprudence exam. The next step you're going to do, now when you open this account, like I said, so obviously you cannot write the NCLEX until you have ticked off every other one and they give you authorization to test for you can write the NCLEX. So I'm going to leave that out of it for a minute. Now for credential evaluation, of course, CGFNS or ARS will send it straight to your board of nursing. That's why you have to have a portal before they are done, so they can have where to send it to. Because even on the CGFNS or ARS form, you're going to write the name of the board of nursing you want them to send it to. Now, when that part, when they send it, of course, that part will be ticked off. Now, another frustrating part that get people really confused is the fingerprint portion. If you're here like me, it was really very easy. I just went to a UPS center, like I printed out what they wanted from me, and then I went to a UPS center, showed them the codes and all that. They knew what I wanted, gave me the paper, did my fingerprinting. I sent it for Arizona. I sent it to Arizona Board of Nursing. For Texas, they use a different body called Identigo. So you do it and you send it to Identigo. They are the one that will do the fingerprinting and the background check. It takes about 8 weeks. Even for Arizona, it took about 8 weeks, and then they'll send it to the board. So you might be wondering, if you're not in America, how is that going to be? You can print out the fingerprint card from your country, check their website, check what they require, go online, check, research, go online and check it, right? You can print it out and go to anywhere they fingerprint in your country and do the fingerprint, put it in an envelope and send it back to the board of nursing you applied for, or to the other body that is helping them do the background check. If you don't want to do it by yourself, there's an agency called Decency. So you can reach out to them on Instagram, I don't on Instagram, I'm not even sure. You can reach out to them on their website. Their number will be on their website. So you want to have this list so that as you do every process, you just check it off, okay, after this I do this. Now, after all this is said and done, you've managed to tick majority of your boxes on your state board of nursing. Baby, this is the time you're going to apply for Pearson VUE. Now, if you don't know what Pearson VUE is a body that organizes the NCLEX, the almighty NCLEX exam. So they're like the examining body. Now, once you apply with Pearson VUE, you're going to tell you on their website that you're going to receive your authorization to test, which we call ATT for short, in 2 weeks. it doesn't always work like that if your board of nursing haven't ticked off everything you need to do, and if you're not ready for it to give you that ATT. So it's actually dependent on your board of nursing. Now, if everything on your checklist have been ticked off and you apply to Pearson VUE, you're literally going to get this thing in like 3 days, 2 days, 4 days, less than a week, whatever. But they told you that it will not get more than 2 weeks if everything is complete and you've applied to them, so you could call them. But if everything is not complete and you apply to them and it's taking longer, please don't bother yourself, because the first time for me, it took me 3 days to get my ATT after I applied, and then the second time it took me about 2 months because everything wasn't complete from my state board of nursing. So yeah, so after applying to them, they communicate with your board of nursing, and then they will send you your authorization to test. Now, this is the sweet time. You should have started preparing for the NCLEX as soon as you apply to your state board of nursing. Yeah, in fact, like, you should have started preparing for the NCLEX the moment you conceived in your brain that you want to become a nurse abroad, in the US to be precise. Start following all the NCLEX accounts you know online. Start checking here and there of the books. I'm not saying do too much because you're going to forget, but just start getting acquainted. You know, start rubbing, let the thing be rubbing in your mind. You know, because okay. Yeah, so by this time you should have started preparing for the NCLEX, but by this time take it serious, because the is about to get real. You will get 6 months time frame for you to finish writing the exam. Yes, so they're going to give you like a bracket, so you get to book the day, the time, the place most convenient for you. So you book a date, pick a location, pick a time, and go sit for your exam. Once you pass it, NCLEX will also be ticked off your board. They will send you an email, hey, blah blah blah, thank you, you passed the NCLEX, your license will be ready, and then they'll mail it to your house. But for folks that are in Arizona, my dears, if you've been out of school for 2 years, and or if you are foreign educated, and or if you've not practiced for the past 4 years as a nurse, you are required to take a state approved nurse refresher program, which lasts for 16 weeks and can be done in only 2 schools in Arizona and 1 school online, where you have to look for your preceptor and do your clinicals by yourself. Like, look for your clinical location for your preceptor by yourself. Literally, the 2 schools, only 2 schools that you're allowed to do that in Arizona, only start in January and August. So my sister, if you wrote your NCLEX in February and you're in Arizona, you're going to wait till August before you start. And if you're like me, that wrote your NCLEX in September, I am going to wait till January before I start the nursing refresher program. So I know this might come off as new to some of you who know me and who have been asking me this question. When I started to work, I started working. I'm bringing it out open right now. I've not started working yet. Yes, I've passed the NCLEX. Yes, I've taken the board exam. But for Arizona, I have to do the nursing refresher program. Like, I literally have to go to the class again, the clinical, everything for 16 weeks. Until then, I'll be talking to you on this channel. I'll be bringing you information how it goes. I'll also let you know how the nursing refresher program went. I'm actually excited, elated, or whatever, because I just want to learn. I want to know more about how they do their things here and all that. So I believe I will enjoy it. So I think that's all for the process, because we're in NCLEX stage. We're now like reviewing NCLEX, right? Yeah. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, share. That's how they used to do it. Anyway.